This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories.
And welcome to my review of Smiling Friends Season 1 and 2. This is honestly a really fun show, and I was recommended by a bunch of people to see it. And going through it briefly, first episode, Desmond's big day out. Honestly, it's a pretty weird start to it, but definitely shows what the show's going to be about. It wasn't my favorite episode ever, but it was still decent. I didn't, love the suicide joke made throughout it, but I didn't really care. Next episode, Mr. Frog is one of my favorites. I think it's a lot of people's one of people's favorites, but Mr. Frog is just great in this. He's a complete embodiment of chaos, and it was honestly just a lot of fun. Next one, Shrimp's Odyssey. It's another fun one. Nothing too special here, but it was a lot of fun. A silly Halloween special is up next, and honestly, that's exactly what it says. It's a really ridiculous one that ends in just really ridiculous murder, and it's honestly just it was a lot of fun. Next one, Who Violently Murdered Simon S. Salty. That one was another fun one. Nothing too much about that. It was a fun murder mystery, and it was a fun twist where it's just the guy died from a heart attack instead of him being murdered, although everyone did attempt to kill him. And the next one is another one of my favorites, which is The Enchanted Forest. Very clearly having parodies of Lord of the Rings and other fantasy stuff. It was a lot of fun. Where Pym turns into a golem-like creature, and they have like a knockoff Hobbit from those old like animated movies in it, who turns out to be a creep that was trying to stalk then assassinate the princess. So yeah, honestly, that was just a lot of fun. Frowning Phones was another great one. Honestly, that was just really crazy, ridiculous, and it was just a lot of fun with that. The Christmas special, Charlie dies and doesn't come back. Obviously, a fake title since he does come back, and that was just a lot of fun. It was a great cameo from the late, great, and legendary Gilbert Godfrey, and he's playing God. Honestly, that was just a lot of fun. Love that guy. He always is great whenever you see him. And with this being one of his last roles, from what I could tell, it was just a lot of fun. And finally, going to the last one of season 1, which is Smiling Friends Go to Brazil. It was just a fun episode where everyone's just sitting there talking. But now let's move to season 2, and that was another fun season. It starts off with the really long title of season 2, episode 1, Gwimbly Definitive Remastered, Enhanced Extended Edition, DX, 4K, Anniversary Director Cut. And even though that has just the longest name possible, it was a really fun episode. And making fun of game development and companies that just sit on their IPs and do nothing with it. It was honestly a lot of fun, and it was a really decent episode. Moving on to the next episode. This is another one of my favorites, Mr. President. Mainly for everything with Mr. Frog. I thought the President character was fine enough, but Mr. Frog was again amazing in this and was a real highlight of the episode. Going to the next one, Alan Adventure. That's another crazy one where his insane landlord puts him on this insane quest to get a paper clips just so we could hang out and play video games and like smoke weed with him. It was kind of hilarious. And with him not actually dying at the end and having a bomb suit on, he was honestly just pretty great, and I want to see him come back. The next one is another crazy one where it's just named Earn the Boss Finds Love. And that one's honestly was a lot of fun also, where Mr. Boss marries Satan's daughter, not knowing that it's Satan's daughter, and she's trying to drain the life out of him, and he is saved at the last minute by the Smiling Friends. And honestly, that was just a really fun, kind of crazy episode. And then we have the episode where they make a very, let's say, bad and, poorly made joke to the characters. I really can't tell if this joke was hilarious or just as terrible as the characters thought, where Mr. Boss has Glep dressed up as Jared from Subway, who is, let's not get him wrong, a terrible person. But I honestly can't tell if I'm on Mr. Boss's side with this being a kind of a hilarious joke on them, or on Charlie and Pim's side, where this is just a terrible joke and terrible taste, because it's kind of both. The joke is absolutely terrible, but it's also funny because they know he's a terrible person, and it's in no way saying that he's a good person. It's more or less a way just to say how terrible this person is. But yeah, honestly, the rest of the episode's pretty great also. It uses an animation style for one of the brothers that I don't really love. It just looks off with it. And it's not for Doctor Psychotic, it's his brother, and honestly, that was just a lot of fun. Next one, honestly, this is maybe the weakest one, and or just feels like the weirdest and weakest one, which is Charlie, Pim, and Bill versus the alien. There's one good joke where they're basically peer pressured into blowing up a planet that they think is sentient, full of sentient life, and it isn't. That was pretty fun, but besides that, nothing super great in this one. Probably the weakest one in my opinion. And then I'd say the next one's also a kind of weak one, but it still has a lot more fun stuff in it, which is the magical red jewel, aka Tyler Gets Fired. And honestly, that one, it was fun, but that's really all I can say about it. It gets to some weird places, but honestly, that's really it. Moving on to the last episode, Pim finally turns green. That was another fun episode. A good parody on the Frosty the Snowman story, and has a pretty horrific ending at the end, but honestly, this is a really fun show. All the characters are fun, and honestly, just a bunch of dumb fun. I really glad this was recommended to me by family and honestly, I think a few friends, but it's a good, fun show. Highly recommend you to watch it if you haven't. And all the characters are fun. All the stories are fun. Some are better than others, but none were truly bad. But I want to know what you think, though. Please leave me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode of Legends and Theories.
Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.